Joining us today on WFAA Academy, Dr. Matt Chalmers, a wellness expert from right here in North Texas, and Nadia Lewis. You see them both right here behind me. Thank you for joining us, Nadia and her daughter Kyla from Fort Worth. We want to start with Dr. Chalmers first, though. What is the importance of setting a routine?
Setting a routine really kind of helps us break up our day and set everything up so we make sure that we hit all of those markers and we can get everything really where we need it to be.
What about the first step when starting a new routine or getting back into that routine, especially after things have been, real different here lately?
Well, the first thing we're going to have to worry about when we talk about tomorrow's routine is that starts tonight. And so we're going to make sure that we figure out how much sleep we need to really feel like we're rested. My 7-year-old grows really quickly and he's large, and so he needs a little bit more sleep. He needs almost 10 hours. Lots of people need 6 to 8. So once we figure out how much sleep we need, that can help set us up a bedtime so that we know when to get to sleep so we can get that full amount of sleep.
I love it. You're straight to the point, but we got a whole lot of time here today. Look, how long should you keep the activity going before it truly turns into a routine? Because I've heard different things about this. So how long should that activity go before it actually becomes a routine?
Generally, we're looking at about 2 weeks. Once we've done something in a routine the same way for a while, for about 2 weeks is really when we start to see things set in and get kind of used to that schedule.
Okay, Dr. Chalmers, now we're going to go ahead and bring in Kyla Lewis from Fort Worth ISD. Kyla, what grade are you going into?
5th.
I didn't hear you. What was the grade?
5th grade.
5th grade. Hey, Kyla, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. Okay, so Dr. Chalmers, we're going to let you talk to Kyla about her routine, and then we'll talk about the big takeaways for parents and students.
Perfect. So the big thing, we're going to talk about when we're going to go to sleep. So how much sleep do you normally need before you feel fully rested and you're good to go?
About 10 hours.
About 10 hours? That's about normal for someone your age. So if we need to be up and moving at a specific time, say we need to be ready for school at, is it 8 o'clock? Is that when you're starting as well?
Yes.
Okay, how long does it usually take you in the morning to get ready, between waking up, eating breakfast, getting dressed, and getting ready for everything?
About an hour.
About an hour? Okay, so if you need to be ready to, you're doing virtual, are you not?
Yes.
Okay, so if we're going to be at our computer at 8, it takes us about an hour to get ready. So we're looking at, we need to be up maybe a little bit before 6:30. And if we need 10 hours, then we're going to be looking at going to bed, before that. So we're looking at about, 8 or 9 o'clock to make sure that we're getting up at the right amount of time. How's that sound for getting to sleep?
That sounds good.
Okay, now what are we going to eat for breakfast? That's going to be a big piece that we've got to kind of set into our day, make sure that we're getting all the nutrients we need. What do you usually have for breakfast?
Sometimes I have fruit, but most of the time I have eggs and bacon.
Oh, okay, very good. So if we know that it's going to take us, 15, 20, 30 minutes to cook our food, eat everything, then we're going to need to schedule that in as well. So if we're going to try to eat, 7:15 so that we're ready at 8, that's probably going to be a good time slot for you. Does that time slot work for you?
Yes.
Fantastic. So once we start, have you guys looked at how the day is going to run as far as what's going to be needed to be done throughout the day for the e-learning?
Well, they're going to have a schedule where they're going to go into their iCloud account and do their classes as if they're in person. So for her schedule, we're looking at her waking up about 8 a.m., well, about 7, getting ready for classes for 8:30. So that'll give her time to get up and take her personal hygiene and have her breakfast and be ready for learning at 8:30.
Very, very good. Do we know when lunch is going to be? Do we know when the breaks are going to be? Do we know when the school day is going to be over?
Well, they're still working those things out. I don't have a full schedule yet, but I'm hoping that her lunch is around the same time, maybe about between 11 and 12. so she can take lunch as well as a brain break, as they call it. So she'll be ready to go for the rest of the day. But I know classes online will not be as long as if they're in person. They're looking at holding about 30 minutes to 40 minutes each, I think, the meeting, when we were on the meeting, they said. So hopefully it's not as long, because I know it's going to be hard to sit in front of a laptop for a long period of time.
Absolutely, yeah. We saw that with our kids too this last little while. So the big thing is going to be that, you know, when we're in school, we generally have either a lunch already made or we have lunch that we can get from school. So when we're setting up this schedule and this routine, that's going to be a big piece that we're going to need to make sure of. So have you guys thought through what we're going to do for lunch, at what time, and that type of thing?
No, we're still working on that schedule, but I'm thinking for lunch, I'm preparing to cook the night before, so lunch is already prepared. Since she's gonna be home, she can just grab something that's already prepared for lunch. So maybe about 15 or 20 minutes for lunch, and then just a little break in between.
Perfect.
Snack break, because they normally have snacks.
So do you know, so when the school day is over, have you guys planned a little time to have a little break, like you said, a brain break before you kind of go back into homework and that type of thing?
Yes, we're gonna do just like a little brain break time, maybe sit out by the pool just to kind of separate the day from the night before she starts homework and studying, so she can, focus a little bit better. Because I know this is a very different environment, learning from home. So I want to make sure she's comfortable. So we've kind of been doing that. We did that when we had the remote learning, where she would study a little bit, just kind of move away, go out and by the pool and read, and then come back in. So we're looking to keep that type of schedule once school starts.
Perfect.
All right, Dr. Chalmers, I'm going to get that name right, I promise you. And Nadia Lewis and her daughter Kyler from Fort Worth, appreciate you guys joining us. Great tips there and information that you provided. Dr. Chalmers, I want to just bring you in here quickly. If you can just kind of recap all of that information that you gave folks just briefly, so that they can take something away from this conversation here today.
Perfect. Just remember that tomorrow's day starts today. So we make sure we get plenty of sleep so we're rested and ready to go. And then make sure that we factor in, if I'm going to wake up, if I need to be somewhere at 8, I leave enough time to, without a lot of stress, we have to leave a lot of time to eat, get dressed, get ready to go. And then make sure that we've kind of figured out, hey, lunch is going to be around this time. I kind of have an idea what we're going to do. And then when the school day is over, how are we going to decompress and kind of work back out? And then try to find some time to get some physical exercise in. That's going to be really important, because if we don't put it in our routine, we're not going to do it.
That is so true. That's true for the adults, too. All right, Dr. Chalmers, thank you so much. Appreciate that feedback here today.
Absolutely.
All right, if you want to find out more about setting a routine and read up on Dr. Chalmers' advice, text the word Academy to 214-977-6028. We will send you a link to his top tips, and you'll get a link to more on our website, WFAA.com. And we have plenty more Academy lessons, including the syllabus for our upcoming lessons.